Welcome to Yoga Plus Therapies, Introduction to Yoga and Basic Practices class. This may be helpful for people who are new to yoga or those who might be doing practices for their therapy. I'll get you to lay down now on your back. Be comfortable. Support yourself if you need with a head support. Legs out long. Arms where comfortable, perhaps to the sides. We're going to start with what we call body scan. This is just getting in touch with your own body, becoming more aware of your own body. Start, if comfortable, with eyes closed or focused on a point. Bring your awareness down to the feet. Become aware of your toes, the soles of your feet, tops of feet, the ankles. Bring awareness up through the legs and around the calves. Become aware of the knees, the kneecaps at the front and all around the knees. Take your awareness up through the thighs, front and back, and up to the area of the hips. Hips at the front, the inner hips, the outer hips, and behind the hips, the buttock area. Be mindful now of your whole pelvic area. Pelvis at the base of the spine. It's like a bowl. Take your awareness up through the abdomen and the waist and around to the lower back, the small of the lower back. Become aware of your rib cage, breastbone up front, ribs to the side, and back to the back ribs and the upper back area. Be aware of your shoulder blades, the tops of your shoulders, the chest area. Take your awareness down the upper arms, through the elbows, to the forearms, through the wrists, and to your palms, and into each of your fingers and thumbs. Return your awareness back to the neck area, the front throat, sides of neck, back of neck, especially the neck as it joins the base of the skull. Finish with your awareness through the head area, the back head, top head, forehead, temples, the sides of the face and the jaw, the eyes. Allow the eyes to be quiet and still. Now bring your awareness to your breathing. Be aware of the breath in and out of the nose. Just the sensation. Cool air in, warm air out. Be aware of the sensation of breath in the rib cage. You may be feeling that movement of ribs or breastbone moving forward or back. And be aware of the breath at the abdomen, the gentle rising of the belly as you inhale, falling as you exhale. It's not an exaggerated move, it's just allow it to happen in its natural way. From body awareness, let's go into breathing practice. So when you're ready, bring the knees bent up, feet flat to the floor. A few principles of yoga breathing. First principle is that we breathe in and out of the nose and less otherwise directed. The breathing is slow, calm, and easy. Breathe in slowly and just feel the rise of the abdomen. Breathe out slowly and feel the abdomen sinking. If you find it hard to concentrate on this, you can use a count. As you inhale, belly expands, you can count to yourself for 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 counts in, and breathing out to the same count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just find a breathing rate that's suitable for you though. If the 4 counts too much, try a shorter count. Establish what we call even breath in yoga. Just that easy rhythmic breathing, not forced. When you do your practices, keep the breathing easy, natural. Be also aware when you do your yoga practice to let go of any excess tensions. Only have the tension in the action you're doing and keep the rest of the body relaxed. Now in the yoga practice, it's important to be mindful of your posture. And to aid in good posture, we need to have your postural or core muscles working properly. Starting with the lower back and pelvic core area, let's just establish the action here. So if you place your hands to the lower abdomen, just below the navel, breath in natural, breathing out, consciously draw your lower tummies flat towards the backbone. Do this without movement of the spine, just the abdomen. Feel that abdomen gently thinning towards the backbone on each exhale. Feel the pelvises level and stable, even. Good. Move the awareness to the upper back now. Lower the shoulders from the ears. Keep the shoulder blades wide, meaning that the inside edges are not drawn back towards the spine, nor hunched forward. Reach the hands briefly to the ceiling. Keep the inside edges of the shoulder blades flat to the floor. And press the upper back towards the floor. Feel the strength here. The softness in the breastbone, so we're not pushing the chest forward here. This is the upper back core. It's important when you're taking weight through the upper limbs. Lower the arms. Keep the chin gently in and lengthen through the crown of the head. Feel length through the whole spine from tail to crown, so there's a string stretching through your spine. This helps establish that final component of good posture, of lengthening and stability through the neck. You may also feel, as you lengthen, that your tummy muscles gradually draw in, thin as well. Let's add to that now with the first of the simple practices, single-sided stretch. Take your right leg out long and flat. Take your right arm up overhead. Support behind the arm if you have shoulder issues. Stretch and lengthen from right heel to fingertip. Feel the waist thin and the spine lengthen as you do this practice. Breathe easily. In and out through the nose. Good, let's swap sides. Remember, we're trying to lengthen, not arch the spine. So be mindful that you're not overly arching through the lower back spine as you do this practice. Keep the tummy lightly thinned, chin is in. Feel the stretch and lengthen through the side waist. Good. Return the arms and legs back to neutral. Let's take now the right knee into the chest. Do that on the exhale. Thin the tummies gently in. Stay like this or take the left leg long and flat. Lengthen down through the left heel. Each time you exhale, draw the tummy thin and the right knee towards your chest. So we're doing that activation of the core muscles. Keep the chin in, neck long. And keep the rest of the body relaxed, not tensioning arms or shoulders. Good. Let's swap sides. Lengthen right heel down. On each exhale, draw knee towards chest. Position your knee where comfortable so you feel no compression through your hips. Feel the back pelvis is stable and broad, no twist. Take the second hip stretch now. Bring both knees bent up again, feet flat. Place the right ankle on the left thigh in the hip cradle position. Flex the foot and toe slightly to protect your knee and be mindful of opening out through the right hip. Do so without moving the pelvises. Keep those pelvises steady, the tummies lightly in. In a simple hip cradle stretch release. Breathe easily. Let's swap sides. Ankle to thigh, foot flexed, toes flexed. Be mindful of opening out through the left knee, again keeping the pelvises stable. No twist. Be mindful with these practices that you may find one side different to the other. Very good. Release back to bent knee position. The final position here is the bridge. Stable pelvises, heels close in, hip width apart. Some people may like to have a block between the knees, but don't worry about that at this moment. Break is just showing how you would position it though, even if you had a blanket or something like that. Don't squeeze tightly when you hold the block or blanket. Keep the shoulder blades wide, arms by the sides. As you exhale, begin to roll the pelvis and lower back spine away from the floor, coming up vertebra by vertebra. Rise up till you feel comfortable, and then lower back down. As you do this bridging practice, be mindful of keeping the pelvis level and stable, and pressing lightly through the heels so that you feel the activation of the back hip glute muscles. Rolling bridge. It's a nice awakener for the spine. It may be helpful to keep the tummy slightly toned as you do this in that lower back, below navel area. One more time. Inhaling up, exhaling down, vertebra by vertebra, and then settle. Take a breath here, short pause before we change position. When you're ready, we're going to come up to hands and knee position. Roll to one side slowly, and then come over onto the hands and knees. Come into tabletop, knees under hips, legs long, feet long, and aligned, stretching and spreading the toes. Have the hands just slightly forward of the shoulders. Fingers naturally long and comfortable. Roll the elbows slightly in towards you and bit off lock. Establish the natural spine position, a natural lower back arch. Draw the tummies lightly in. Establish the upper back core by spreading the shoulder blades, lowering from the ears, and pressing the middle back up to the ceiling as you press the palms towards the floor to establish that strong core. Keep the neck long with the chin in. Natural. Breathe easily through the nose. Each time you breathe out, gently draw the lower tummy muscles towards the backbone. Keeping aware of that lower pelvic core. Be mindful that your pelvis should be level, not twisting. And equal weight through knees and hands. From tabletop, we're going to take it into movement, the cat move. As you inhale, the spine arches, the tail goes out, chest forward, head up. As you exhale, tail goes under, spine flexes, head goes down. Just establish this rhythm. For some people, it can be tricky just getting that coordination of spinal movement with breath. So remember, as you exhale, heads down, exhale. As you inhale, chest open, head up. To help you to remind yourself of the correct action, think of your body like a balloon. So when it's more open, you can let breath in. When it's more closed, you're letting the breath out. Keep weight even, and remember, just get a nice rhythm and feel that movement through your spine, whether it be the lower back, the middle back, or the neck. We're now going to take it into the child stretch. So inhaling forward, exhale, round and sink back, tail towards heels. Inhale, come forward. And repeat. So you can do this dynamically as a movement. Be mindful that the knees might need to be a little bit wider to allow you to sink back. Keep the tops of the feet relaxed, toes spread. You can also do the child stretch where you stay back and rest. We're trying to get sit bones towards heels, chest down, head down. For people, it's not appropriate to drop the head too low, so I'll get Radhika to stay back this time. She can support her head by taking 2 knuckles to support the forehead, or 2 flat palms if the head can go a little lower. And just resting in the stretch. If your head can actually reach the floor, you could have the arms stretched forward. Long fingers. Breathing easily, releasing and relaxing through the lower back. You can even do little rocks if there's any tension there. Now when you're ready, we'll come forward. One thing that can help with that child stretch too is as you sink back, Radhika demonstrates, draw the tummy muscles in. That can help get more release for your spine if required. Now let's come up to tabletop, preparing for a stronger activation, the griffin. Establish the cores, neutral spine, lower tummies in, upper backs strong, so shoulder blades spread, upper back stretch into the ceiling as the palms spread and stretch to the floor, elbows in. Reach the right foot back, Without leaning to the left, lift the leg up slowly. It doesn't have to be high. Lengthen away, heel away. So you could even lift a little bit lower and more lengthening. Keep the tummies thin, shoulder blades stable. If you feel very strong and stable, tummies in, reach the opposite left hand forward. Only do this if you feel stable. Again, you're trying to avoid leaning to the left. Feel length from arm to heel, opposite sides. Keep the right elbow a little bent to work those upper arm muscles. Okay, release the arm, exhale and draw knee to chest if comfortable, like a cat. Lower the leg down, return to tabletop, establish your cause, and prepare for the second side. Single griffin. Careful again not to lean to the right side this time and keep the pelvises stable. Or you can extend the practice by reaching right hand forward. Don't forget, this is a stronger action, so you may tend to hold your breath, so remember to keep breathing easily in and out through the nose. Always stop a practice if you get tired or discomfort. Excellent. Return the hand back down. Release the leg knee to chest. And just rest the arms if required for a moment back in child's stretch. This final practice, some of you may leave out if it's inappropriate for your arms or shoulders, but it can be a good way to strengthen this area. We're going to do the single arm balance. Return to tabletop. Stretch. Keep your arms just forward at the shoulders. Left hand in line with left knee. Stretch the right leg back and heel back behind the left. Have the foot flat to the floor if you can. Now with stability, rotate the torso so it's facing the right. Maintain the upper back core, shoulder lowered from ear on the weight bearing side, left arm down. Spread the shoulder blade away from the midline, pressing the palm to earth. If stable, reach the right hand towards the sky and spread also apart. Keep tummy muscles in. Feel the work on the outer left hip muscles, holding your pelvis up and outward. This is a side-on action. Be careful of your left shoulder, there's no hunching, and keep spreading those shoulder blades. Good, return to tabletop. And we'll do the second side, radical show. No, do it the same way, radical show at the back this time, so you can get an idea of the shoulder blade action. Hand in line with knee. Elbow in, upper arm rotated towards hand, foot in line, rotate the pelvis upwards. Tummy's in, stable core. Spread the shoulder blades. Press palm to earth, then reach skyward. The arms are not squeezing back, but apart. The upper back feels broad and open. Work your outer hip muscles to keep the pelvis rotating up and outward. Spine's neutral. Okay, let's return back to tabletop and one last time, rest to child stretch. Remember that last practice you may leave out if not appropriate for your arms. Preparing now to come up to stand slowly. So return to hands and knees, check you're not light-headed. Bring one leg forward to support yourself. And then when you're ready, let's come up to stand. If you feel weak coming off the floor, you could also have a chair to the side for added support. First practice is mountain. So we're going to do this against the wall. I'm going to get Radhika to bring her back to the side wall. Heels away from the wall about 5 centimeters. Feet are hip width apart. Knees off lock. Knees off lock. Position the buttocks and pelvises so they rest to the wall evenly. Check yourself that there's equal pressure on both sides. Rest the upper back to the wall. Shoulder blades spread, shoulders relaxed. Arms to the sides with palms forward. Hands don't need to be on the wall, they can be just to the sides of the hips. Draw the chin in and lengthen through the crown of the head, and if possible get the back of the head towards the wall. Relax the chest down. Feel the upper back pressing towards the wall. Draw the lower tummies in to check that you haven't overly got an arch of your lower back. Some people can exaggerate the lower back arch when they're standing. Our goal with this is to check alignment. When you feel steady here, reach the hands forward for a moment and just check your upper back core. Shoulders relaxed, chest tight, inside edges touching the wall, and press the upper back into the wall that little bit more. Do you feel that upper back strength? Good. Remember that feeling now and turn and face the wall. Place the hands on the wall as though you're doing a push-up. Hands about mid-chest height. Keep the elbows in close, arms reasonably straight. Establish all the good core practices. Hip width feet, knees off lock, pelvis is level, tummies in. Shoulders lowered, upper back's wide. Think of the middle back pressing backwards, not pressing your chest forwards. Chin in, head up. From here, if appropriate, begin to do the push-up. Lowering yourself towards the wall, halfway, and then pressing back to straight. Keep the elbows close in as you do this practice. And try to imagine your whole body is like a stick. It's stable. There's no movement except at the ankles. Keep the tummies in so the spine remains nice and stable. When we do this in a stronger version on the ground, we call it the stick posture, where your goal is to keep that really strong, stable position through the spine. Good. Finish this one off. Come back to the mat position. Come into mountain again. And check you can do the mountain again without the wall. But the same principles. Feet hip width. Knees off lock. Weight even between the feet. Equal pressures between heels and ball feet. Toes relaxed and long. Pelvis is level and stable in line with the ankles. Tummy muscles lightly in, waist thin. Not overly arching lower back. Shoulder blades lowered and wide, palms forward. Chins in and lengthen through the crown. Actively try to make yourself a few centimeters taller. Careful not to go into extension and lean backward though. Keep the chest soft. Breathe naturally through the nose. Feel strong and stable as a mountain. Now Radhika's going to turn side on to demonstrate chair posture. So from mountain, she's going to bend the knees and take the tails back into chair posture. Always mindful of keeping the knees behind the toes, so there's a little more weight to the heels. The spine is natural, it's still in its natural curves. So coming up and down with chair posture. She can do a very small chair or she can go a deeper chair. So you find what's appropriate for you. Be mindful as you do this bending that the knees align with your feet. If you are weak in your hips, you'll find your knees coming together. So they may roll in together. So keep that control. You may like to balance the practice by letting the arms sweep forwards. Keep that rhythmic breath as you do chair posture. Keeping the good core. Very good. So coming back up to mountain, Radhika will turn to face forward again to demonstrate half moon posture. Feet are a little bit wider than hips. She takes her right arm up towards her right ear, palm facing inwards. She can take her left arm and lightly press it onto her left pelvis. So as the name suggests, it's a side bend. So on the exhale, the tummies come in, the body side bends to the left, the pelvis is slightly moved to the right. And then coming back up. Keep length through this practice. And you don't need to do a large side bend, it's what accommodates your own flexibility. A stronger version of this is if Radhika brings both arms up and side bends without the support. The side muscles need to work a little bit harder this way. Keep those tummy muscles in as you do the action. Release the arms and let's do the second side. Try to get left arm close to ear, palm facing inward, shoulders relaxed. As you exhale, tummies draw flat and you gently side bend. Pelvis is slightly moved, this time to left as the body moves to the right. So easy version or stronger version with the arms both overhead. Good. Release the arms, return to mountain. Take a breath and just note how you feel from those really simple practices. Radhika is now going to step towards the short end of the mat. Again in mountain with the feet hip width apart. We're going to go into Warrior 1 practice. To do this, she's going to bend her knees as for chair. Take the weight to the left. Gently step the right foot straight back, not behind. So go straight back in the same line as it was. If you have trouble doing this, use the edge of your mat. So you can actually get a little bit closer to the edge of the mat and you can check that you're in that right position. You lower the heel in so that the toes is turned out slightly. The body is upright. If you've overstepped behind, just bring that foot forward again. You'll know if you've overstepped behind if you can't have your pelvis facing to the short edge of your mat. If Radhika places her hands onto her pelvis, she can just demonstrate that it's not twisted to the side, but it's facing forward. That's what you're after. Be mindful that your right knee is aligning towards your toes. Your left knee is over the ankle. And the middle of the kneecap is moving towards your second toe. So it's in that good, strong, aligned position. The spine is upright and natural. Core tummy muscles lightly in. Arms by the sides. If you want, you can add the arm action. As you inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Long fingers. Exhale, bringing them back down. Feel the strong base. Be mindful, even in this action, that the shoulder blades are in that wide core position. Good. Radical, now step forward and do the second side. So from chair, we step straight back, so we still have hip width distance. Heel is in, toes out slightly. Foot even, weight through the heel, toes even. Knees slightly turned or in line with the toes. On the back and the front. Pelvis is forward. Spine's upright. Aware of the cords. Inhale if you want and add the arm action. A flowing breath. Flowing movement. Feel length as you reach up from that stable base. Really be mindful of that front knee hasn't rolled inward or outward, keeping the knee, middle of the kneecap in line with that second toe. Let's come out of it again, back to mountain. Take a short breath pause. Feel the body. Feel your own energy. Now Radhika is going to step to the middle of the mat facing this way. Feet together. Preparing for warrior number 2 practice. Now she's going to take the feet apart, keeping them each in line with the other. So not one forward of the other, we're in that same symmetry. Good. Pelvis is stable and level. She's going to turn the right foot out 90 degrees. She's going to adjust the back left heel a little bit to be comfortable. She's going to bend the right knee over the right ankle, the kneecap aligning towards that second toe, being very mindful of using your outer hip muscles to rotate that knee outward into that right position. A good check for this that you'll note that the arches are lifting and engaging as well. There should be a light stretch on that back left inner thigh. If she places her hands on her pelvis, as you to show that you want to have the pelvises level. They may not be in line fully with the mat, but they want to be level, not one lifted higher than the other. The torso more or less faces the long edge of your mat. Think good core, tummy's in. And she wants you can add the arm action by bringing the arms up and spreading wide apart. Shoulder blades spreading away from the midline, not squeezing back. Right arm in line with right thigh, left arm in line with left thigh, looking towards the right. This can be held steady or could be a dynamic action where she inhales and straightens the right knee, the arms lift up overhead. Exhale, she bends the right knee and the arms lower to the warrior two position. So these are just some variations to the practice. Good. This time she's going to lower the arms and straighten the right knee. Keeping the legs now more or less straight. If required for the next posture, she may need to bring the feet closer together, but for her, she can keep her legs as she is. Now she's going to turn the body a little bit towards the right. If needed, the knees just very slightly bent on the right. And she's going to bend the body towards the right leg. No, Radhika, listen to the instruction. Turn the body, bend the body forward, place the left hand on the pelvis, and now rotate that left pelvis upward and open. So she's rolling into the triangle posture. Get her to demonstrate this again. It's a nicer way for many people to come into triangle posture because you get the right positioning and much less strain on your hips and spine. A little bend forward, and now rotate the left pelvis upward and outward. In triangle posture, if you do it properly, you should feel the right inner thigh, there's a stretch. The left hand doesn't have to get down to the ground. It may be high up on the leg or the thigh, according to your flexibility. Radhika is lower down because she has more flexibility. Or right hand down. She can stay like this, or she can reach the left hand to the ceiling and spread those shoulder blades again. Keep the shoulders relaxed from the ears, and be mindful the spine is neutral. It's not bent forward. It's as though you could be leaning back against the wall in a straight line. Some people try to get down too low and bend the body forward. Our goal is to not do this if possible. Lower the arm and we'll come back out of the practice. Knee might bend a bit, give you support to ease yourself up. Bring yourself facing that neutral forward position before we do the second side. So first do warrior two. So left toes open 90 degrees. Adjust the back heel outward slightly. Level the pelvises. Let the left knee bend in line with the ankle, kneecap centered towards the second toe. Use your outer left hip muscles to activate and get that knee opening on that left side. Level the pelvises. Feel the inner right hip muscle stretch. Arches lightly up and engaged. She can lift the arms if she wants and bring in the arm action. Spread the shoulder blades, reach the arms apart, left arm aligning with the left thigh, right arm aligning with the right thigh. This time she looks towards the left. If there's any tension in the upper shoulder, she could turn the palms up, and that sometimes helps to reduce the tension. We can take the dynamic action as she inhales and straightens the left knee, the arms raise up. She exhales and the knee bends, the arms reach out. Notice the coordination of breathing and movement. And see how the arms are reasonably equal heights. Keeping no tension in the upper shoulders. Good. Now release the arms and prepare for the triangle stretch. If feet need to come a little closer together, that's okay. This time knees are more straight. She's going to turn the body a little bit towards the left this time and bend forward from your hips, just where comfortable. This time now she's going to rotate the right pelvis upward and slightly out. So it's using the outer left hip muscles to help get that rotation. She doesn't have to reach right to the ground, remember. If you're tight, you'll be holding higher up. We want the spines aligned and neutral. That's not a side bend of the spine. And the spine isn't reaching forward. It's in line with the pelvis. The upper back is in line with the pelvis. Spread the shoulder blades. Arms straight apart from each other. Head can be looking up, but it's also very practical for many people just to look forward or even slightly down. Breathe easily. To come out of triangle posture, knee bend slightly and use the strength to lift yourself back up. Return back to the parallel position. And then when you're ready, walk or hop the legs back to mountain. Take a breath and steady yourself and observe the body. We're now going to move into a balance routine. For safety, you may want to be close to a wall with this one if you're not feeling safe with your balances. Make sure you keep your joints unlocked and minimize tension. It's okay to wobble with balance practice. You can challenge the balance practice by having a softer surface that you stand on. First practice is simple. We're going to just bring the feet close together. This is the traditional mountain. Knees are off lock. Feel very grounded and stable. Shoulders lowered. To challenge this, you could simply close your eyes. Just notice how you feel balancing with the eyes closed. If you feel dizzy with this practice, then avoid closing your eyes. Good. Opening the eyes, Radhika's going to progress to number 2. For this, she's going to demonstrate side on. She's going to take what we call the tight rope walk position, where she has one foot in front of the other foot. Just like you're on a tightrope. Knees are bent. Hands might be to the sides a little. For some people, this is quite challenging in itself. If you might need more challenge, just slightly close your eyes. Good. We're going to swap sides now. So eyes are open. Make the transition the other way around. Because you'll be surprised that sometimes it can be quite different between sides. Knees off lock. Be comfortable. If you're not steady, eyes are open. If you need to challenge it more, eyes can be closed. Breathing easy. You'll notice balance will change throughout the day. Very good. Let's return to feet together and we'll go into the next practice, which is the single leg balance. Knees off lock. Shift the weight slowly to the left side, ground it, and bring your right knee bent up. If you can, try to get it up to hip height. This can be challenged again in a number of ways. You could stand on a softer surface. You could close the eyes. You could try raising the arms overhead. You could even turn the head. It's amazing just by adding things to it as to how it increases balance difficulty. Good. Let's swap sides. So maybe just go to the level appropriate for you. Weight to right, knee off lock. Try to lift your left knee up at least to hip height. Careful not to lean back. Think long. Breathe easily. Stay as this is, or you challenge it. Could be eyes closed. Could be arms raised. Could be head turning. Could be standing on a soft surface. Very good. And release. Radhika is now going to do the backward balance, which is sometimes called a variation of the warrior 3. So shift the weight to the left, extend the right foot back, and incline the upper body forward so that the body and the back leg are in a straight line. And then she lifts the back foot away from the floor, and as the foot comes further from the floor, the body inclines forward a little bit more. So again, the balance here can be challenged. Eyes closed, arms could be forward. Turn the head a little bit. Okay, and slowly release. Let's take the other side. So remember all the levels. It might be a small incline to a bigger incline as you feel stronger or more stable with your balances. Don't try to arrange it. I'll get Radhika to start that one again. We'll just do it step by step. So, first level. Incline the body. Just bring the foot off the ground. That might be where you stay. Or, incline a bit more. You could challenge it with eyes closed. Or the eyes could be open. You could challenge it by reaching the arms forward. It's important to do balance step by step. Okay, come back to mountain slowly. Radhika demonstrate the final balance here, looking to the front. This is called the tree balance. It's a classical posture. This challenges the balance more to the sideways. Knees are off lock. Weight to left. Lift that right knee forward and turn the knee out to the side. Keep the pelvises forward. So Radhika demonstrate that she hasn't turned her pelvises. Only the hip is turned outward. She can place her foot either above the ankle or with more flexibility above the knee, but not on the knee itself. Hands can be low, at heart, or overhead for more challenging options. And again, a real challenge for this would be eyes closed. Remember, if your balance is not good, you might lightly be holding a wall. Very good. Slowly release and prepare for the second side. Soften the joints, let the tensions go, breathing naturally. Weight to right, left knee turned out. Pelvis is steady and aligned. Foot can be placed above ankle or above knee. Hands can be low at the chest or overhead. Or eyes could be closed for the big challenge. Remember, wobbles are fine. That's how you're getting better, if you wobble about. Okay, slowly release. Back to easy mountain and take a few breaths. Let's prepare now for the final section. I'm going to get you to return down to the floor, laying on your back. Knees bent up. Take a breath just to settle and get everything aligned. Again, evenness through pelvises, shoulder blades, head and feet. We're going to do some simple twists. First one, feet and knees closest together, arms to the sides. We're just going to do simple spiral twist. So as Radhika exhales, or as you exhale, you're going to take the knees to the right and the head to the left. And reverse. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, opposite way. Just a nice releasing feeling through the spine. So feel free to stay with this simple twist, or I'll show you some variations that you might like to try. Take the feet wider apart, maybe wider than the hips. And again in the rotation this time, as your knees roll to the right, let the left leg stretch down from you a little and get that bit more stretch to the side body waist. Coming back up and reverse. So the stretch is felt slightly differently when we have the legs together or apart. Again, you can choose to stay with this option or a third option. Bring the knees up over the chest, hug them in for a moment. Feel the back relaxed. Keep the knees over the chest and take the arms to the sides. And we can do a twist variation this way. So as you exhale, keep the knees in, tummies flat, and draw the knees towards the right elbow. They may not get to the right elbow, but that's the direction. Inhale back neutral, and then take it towards left elbow. So notice the direction here is a different stretch again, more through the waist, and the spine's more bent here, whereas in the other stretches the spine was a little bit more extended. So you find these different variations of twists can just affect the spine in different ways, and you may find one more suitable for you. Good. Come back to the neutral. The final stretch here is to keep the right knee hugged in, and take the left leg long and flat. And we can do a variation of twist here with the single leg, where Radhika just gently rolls the knee over to the left, keeping the right shoulder back. If required, you just slide your pelvis underneath you to keep the spine aligned. This can be a nice restful stretch for the lower back if appropriate. Mindful that you don't compress the hip with this one. Let's try the second side. Knees to chest. Maybe the pelvis could be moved a little bit to the left first. Then left knee in, right leg straightish. And we roll the left knee over to the right, easing the left shoulder and arm back. Feeling that nice release through the lower back spine or outer hip. Breathing easy. So remember, when you do your practice, just choose the twist appropriate for you. When you're ready, let's come back to the neutral position. And the last stretch we have is the leg stretch. For this you'll need a belt or a band or something you can use to place around the sole of your foot. Place the belt around the ball foot of your right foot and stretch it towards the ceiling. If you're very tight, your knee may be a bit bent. The big thing here is your pelvic position. Check the back pelvises are even and level and you haven't twisted. It's easy when you're tight to twist the right pelvis off the ground. Keep the shoulders relaxed and hold the belt very gently. You don't have to be straining here. Breathe out into stretch as you're trying to feel that stretch into the back hamstring or the calf area. Radhika is quite flexible, so she's showing quite a strong stretch position, but many of you may not get to this position. A variation of this is to have the left leg out long and flat. Always be mindful of keeping things level and even through the pelvises and the upper back. Okay, let's release slowly and try the second side. Just do a nice easy stretch initially. Remember, there should be no pain or strain when you stretch. You can vary the stretching with the leg being either a little more midline or a little less midline. It changes where you feel the stretch. Back off any stretching though that gives you pain or pins and needles or numbness. Maybe the option is to have the right leg out long. But always recheck your pelvises are stable and level, shoulder blades stable and level, and the neck is relaxed. Breathing is easy. Good. Release slowly. If you feel the need to have the knees just tucked in one last time, do so. If you feel that lower back just needs that little rest. And then we're going to prepare for final relaxation. You may need support for your head or even under the knees. You just do what feels right for you. Legs are long, arms to the sides. Everything's aligned. Evenness through pelvises, heels, shoulder blades, arms and head. If laying on your back this way is not appropriate, remember you can always lay on your side. A pillow between the knees and head supported. Breathe natural and easy. Take a yawn. Let go of excess tension of the face. Soften the throat. If you still feel a little tension, you could do the extended exhale. You just gently inhale to the count of 3, exhale to the count of 5. The longer exhale helps you to let go of any remaining tensions. If suited, the eyes close. If it doesn't feel right for you, then just have them open but focusing on one point. We're going to do a systematic relaxation going from head to toe. The goal is not to become zero with the tension, especially if you have a lot of tension, but just to let go of some tension. If you try too hard, you become more tense. So Remember to keep this practice easy. No need to try hard. Just allow it to happen. And deep relaxation will come on by itself. Soften your jaw. Feel the teeth apart, lips together. Relax the cheeks and the nose. Soften all around the eyes. And feel the eyes quiet and still, resting. Loosen the eyebrows and the space between the eyebrows. Feel the forehead relaxed and soft, releasing out to the temples. Loosen the entire scalp, all over the head. Relaxing down the sides of the head and across the ears and down the sides of the neck. Feel the shoulders dropped and wide. Feel the upper arms loosen. The forearms relax. The palms open. Fingers long, loose and soft. Relax the throat. Soften through the collarbones, the chest muscles. Release the breastbone and soften the rib cage. Relax through the upper abdomen. Release all around the navel. And soften down into the lower abdomen and pelvic area. Feel the natural movement of the abdomen with your breathing. Letting go tension to each exhale. Loosen through the back of the head, the muscles between the neck and the base of the skull, relaxing and letting go. Loosen down through the neck and soften to the muscles between the shoulder blades, resting the shoulder blades back. Soften the back ribs, release into the kidney area. Soften down through the lower back, consciously releasing all that extra tension in the lower back area. Remember, all is okay with your spine. Soften through the back pelvis and loosen into the hips and buttock area. Soften deeply into your hips, all around the hips. Relax down the thighs, front and back. Loosen the kneecaps and soften the knee joints. Feel warmth as you relax. Soften the front legs and release the calves. Soften around the ankles and loosen into the soles and top feet. Relax out of each toe. Feel the body very relaxed now. The mind slowed and calm. Your nervous system calm and recovered. Letting all the stresses go. Feel all the inner organs recovered. When you're ready now, we're going to come back from relaxation. Take 3 long, slow, deep breaths. Coming back more by wiggling toes and fingers and rolling the head. Bring the knees slowly bent up. We'll leave you here now. And remember, if you need to have a longer relaxation, then just let the relaxation go a little bit longer. Otherwise, we can conclude the class. Thanking you from Yoga Plus Therapies, Radhika and James. Namaste.